YouTube. Hot Ones. Usually an interview show that is done between a bald man and a more famous celebrity than I. But instead, today it will be done with me and another guy who's not as famous as those celebrities, but is Canadian. And that would be Michael L. Fox. Good friend of the show. We actually met each other quite recently, and this was literally the first time that we had ever spoken to each other outside of each other's chats. But we kind of liked each other's content, and we wanted to hang out and have an excuse to make some content. So if you don't know what Hot Wings is, you eat 10 spicy hot wings ranging from relatively mild and deliciously tasting to 2 million plus Scoville units, absolute fucking death, while asking each other intimate questions and getting more intimate as it goes, so that by the time you get to the end, you're delirious and are more vulnerable and then can answer things like why you love your partner so much. Either way, I hope you enjoy the content. And if you do, give it a like, a comment, and subscribe. Seriously, any support on a video like this that is very far from my normal content goes a very long way, and I'll really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.
So, you have 10 questions. I have 10 questions. I have a feeling your questions are going to be better, probably.
I did way too much work. I'll tell you that. Yeah, you go all out with the sauce. I'll go all out with the questions. I'll be like Sean Evans. All right, dude. Are you ready? Should we set up all the sauce? Should I like get all the bowls and like set all the sauces in the bowls right now?
I haven't opened mine yet. I kind of figured, because they give you the little pamphlet thingy, I can read it, or we can take turns reading, whatever, just to explain
They didn't give
each
me
sauce.
a pamphlet thingy. They
It should
did?
be in the box. Yeah.
Oh, it was on top of the box. I threw it away.
But I can read them out as we're like cracking open each one, you
Sure.
know? So our first sauce, this is, for anybody that's wondering, Hot Ones Season 20 set. If you want to buy it, you can get it on Heatonist. Hot Ones #1, the classic chili maple edition, 1600 Scoville heat units. So, I mean, you're thinking that's like, it's like a basic Tabasco kind of level. Hot Ones #1 sauce has got sweet new take, featuring lots of real maple syrup and tangy apple cider vinegar, plus Fresno chilies from Smoke and Ed. The classic chili maple is the perfect balance of sweet and heat. Do you want to? Okay, you're going. He's going for it. Did you put the sauce on already?
No, I'm dipping it.
Oh, okay. My question #1. You briefly went to and dropped out of school for animal stuff.
I did.
Right? This
Yep.
is I did a deep dive on that one.
Deep dive.
So you have a love for animals, but something about schooling wasn't fit for you, right? I don't know. Maybe what the story is there. So my question is, like, what changes do you think need to be made to education so that people, you know, when they're passionate about something, they can be more easily educated and further?
I think that's an easy one here in America. I think you just lob me the easy one if it needs to be free, because like it's okay. It's such like a so nerve-wracking to like go to school and figure out that you don't want to do something and then feel like you wasted time and your money or your parents' money if they gave you stuff. So I mean, yeah, making it free at the start, and I also think that actually teaching like basic necessities at the start, I think things that people are actually interested in, like cooking classes and how to do your taxes and things like that, are actually somewhat interesting to most people because it is something that they're actually going to use, and then they get more engaged in education.
Good answer. I like that. Nugget going in the bowl.
Ew.
Sauce.
See, I don't even like that much sauce. I don't even like.
Well, actually, I don't want to waste too much sauce because this is probably going to be good and I'm going to want it. But I'm just trying to make
this sauce
sure.
is great.
There we go.
Michael A.L. Fox, a name that is synonymous with chill vibes, production value, and a thick Canadian accent. When building a name for yourself, was it a conscious decision to always be wearing a beanie and a nice shirt? Because to me, it feels like I could spot you in a crowd full of thousands of people. The way you dress is iconic to your person. Was that Sean Evans?
That was good. That was good. Your delivery made me fart. It wasn't ever a conscious decision. I just remember, I don't know, I just like had a toque I really liked. I was wearing it at the time. Up until that point, I never was like a big hat guy or toque guy. I started wearing it and I started streaming. And I don't know about you, but like these headphones, after long periods of time, kind of get uncomfy. So I just kept wearing toques because they're comfy, especially on the glasses. And the whole shirt thing, I don't know, when I stopped working full time, you know, I worked in an office suits and ties and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted an easier transition, so I kind of kept morning stream sort of 9 to 5 feel, and I kind of like the act or the ritual of, you know, putting on a decent shirt. It just gets me it gets me energized, you know. I feel like, okay, like I'm here to do work, even though it's like not like a fancy shirt. I just like, I don't know, it wasn't planned, it just kind of happened, and now I just go with it. That's sorry if that's a plain Jane answer.
No, I mean I'm trying to learn more about Michael Fox. Such a badass name. I just gotta say it. Like, you could
like it?
You could legitimately kill people for a living. Like,
you know what's
what's funny.
You know, I had been training in Hitman. It's as badass as it is. It's even better in Spanish. I don't know Spanish, but I do know it's Miguel Zorro, which I think is like, that's just like sexy too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I might be like a Spanish hitman if the whole streaming thing doesn't pan out.
Gotta survive somehow. I understand it.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our sauce number 2. Man. Whew, that's good. That's good sauce. This one is the Shaquanda's Banji Ranch. 6,200 Scoville heat units. This ranch-inspired hot sauce gets its dreamy, creamy texture from tahini. Yo, let's go. Tahini is like, for those that don't know, it's like sesame seed.
Ooh, Hannah's gonna
ground
like
up.
this one.
Chives and a pinch of dill added herbaceousness. Lemon provides the tang, and just a pinch of smoked civathy. I have no idea what that is. Chili lends subtle, earthy heat. Delicious, right? We'll find out.
How the hell do you say that word? Chat, Sivathei. Chat's just gonna type it out. Like, that's gonna help us pronounce it, but you know.
Yeah, we're doing 1 to 10 spice level or whatever, chat. So
we're starting at number 10, actually.
Whoa, yeah. I mean, you smell that? It doesn't. That's not a traditional hot sauce in any way, shape, or form.
Smell spicy at all. Like the first one, it smelled like a hot sauce. Like it smelled like you were gonna have a little bit of smoke and like. Yeah, it was nice. All right.
That's I will say about the hot ones, they do a really good job of curating and getting like different vibes for the.
Yeah, and this one's like got like the consistency of like curry, dipping it and ripping.
Dipping and ripping. All right, your next question. You can go toe to toe with pretty much anyone on the platform in terms of number of subs to viewers. I mean, you're killing it. You got a great community. For whatever reason, you know, maybe some scandal happens and you're totally canceled, right? You lose your ability to swindle viewers out of their hard-earned money, and you need a new career. Tomorrow, what do you turn to? What do you say? Okay, we need to do something else. Let's go down this path.
So if I'm giga canceled, so like I can't even like get a job in the industry.
No streaming on like YouTube or any other platform, or like making video. Like you're done. You're done, kid. Get off the internet.
I'd probably go into meteorology. Actually, I'm very interested in weather, in the science of weather. So I'd go meteorology, and obviously I would, you know, being the natural flamboyant guy that I am, I would love to be the one on camera. But if I'm so canceled, then I would be just a normal meteorologist in the background tracking the weather. And if I'm so canceled, then I would probably be like a storm chaser.
Have you ever seen like a tornado or anything like that in person?
Yeah,
From
a couple of times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had one that was I think it was like a mile and a half away from our house back in Virginia, and it like tore through a local Walmart. Yeah.
You know what? I didn't do enough research. I didn't expect that. I'm gonna use that.
Chat's also telling me as well. I also do have a desire to become a pilot, but I don't know if that would be a career
airplane,
that you can.
Helicopter.
Airplane, yeah. Like, you know, just a passenger pilot plane. I guess I could go into like the hauling industry, right? The freight industry side of that. I probably couldn't get if I'm canceled, I probably can't get a job as a pilot on a passenger plane.
This is a sincere question. Is there not like some kind of like height requirement for pilots?
I don't think so.
Maybe it's like a weird meme or something. I thought there was like, you can't do it unless you're 6 foot.
I feel like I've been as tall as some of my pilots.
Oh, so there is okay, but it's not. For some reason, I thought it was something like 6 foot. And I was like, dang, that seems.
Oh, you have to be 5'2", 263. Yeah, you can't be over 6'3".
You can't be too tall. Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense. All right, You ready?
Damn, I'm 6'5", so like I guess I'm out.
You've talked extensively about being a vegetarian and how one day you hope to possibly go completely vegan. What was what has been the hardest food to give up, or one that you might think that you might be giving up down the line on the path to full veganism? And do you think that it'll be poutine?
Poutine is tricky because I love it, but I actually don't eat it that often, just because I'm also trying to take care of my body. But I would say in general, cheese is the hardest thing. I love eggs as well, but I mean, in terms of like, you know, cooking with eggs and whatnot, there's all sorts of substitutes and such. And I could get by without eggs as a dish. Cheese, on the other hand, I think it just like it enhances so many dishes. It's delicious. That would be probably the hardest thing for me to give up.
Yeah.
I mean, I like I've been without meat for it's about almost 2 years now, I think, and I don't crave it. I just don't crave it. I think just because you get creative with thinking about replacements and researching other dishes and understanding about spices and herbs and flavors and so yeah, but cheese would be tough. But that's kind of like, I think long term too. I'd love if I ever get more property, like a farm size level of property. Having some goats and chickens, right? And then, because I had chickens in the past, and you know, treat them well. The eggs are amazing. You don't feel bad about eating them because you're giving them a good life. Same thing for goats. Like, if you can have goats, milk them, learn to make my own cheese from it. Like, oh man, that would be good. So I think that's like a long-term goal.
Is goat cheese like your go-to, or
not my goat?
Set you up for that one.
But I do quite like it. Goat cheese and other cheeses that use goat's milk. But I'm not picky. There's like not really a cheese I don't like. It's more of I have preferred cheeses for different dishes and stuff. But
for sure.
So, yeah, I don't know. Something to like try to give up at some point. Work it out. It's doable, but I'm kind of taking baby steps for now.
Yeah. Does your midnight snack involve shredded cheese on tortilla chips?
Did you hack my cameras in my house?
You just talk so eloquently about cheese, just like I do, and it's the go-to.
I'm not even kidding. Like sometimes, like I'll have like a bag of shredded cheese, and I'll have like some chips or Tostitos or whatever, and I'll just like I'll get some hot sauce sometimes too, and just
anything with cheese, like literally any dish that has cheese, just scoop it with tortilla chips. It gets 10 times better. Move on.
I don't know how you say this one. Cadejo?
What is that on there? Is that a?
It's like a pig.
Is that?
Or
the face? The mouth is so much more of a dog.
But it doesn't, like, I mean, I think it's an awesome label. This is sauce number 3, so it makes it look like it's going to be hotter than it is.
Right? Yeah.
This is a shaved bear.
Whoa.
Apparently, that's what Travis
saying. It has the worst wrapper so far because it doesn't have one of, like, the set spots to start peeling.
What did you think of the last sauce?
I really liked that one. That one was, like, that one was very, very flavorful. I think Hannah will really like that one. But yeah, it was very, very curry consistent,
creamy. I'm a big fan of dill, and I picked up on the dill. I like that a lot.
Really? I'm usually not a fan of that, and I did not pick up on it.
A newcomer to the Hot Ones family, Donis makes Amelia and Greg named their sauce for the supernatural spirit dog of myth, and it has the bite to match thanks to habanero peppers, garlic, and black pepper, but still no big deal, right? 15,000 Scoville heat units, so a bit more than double the last one.
Double the last one.
Question number 3. It's no secret that you're one of the larger Pacific Rim fans out there, with a rather beefy tattoo gracing your skin. Your dreams come true, and you're given the opportunity to co-pilot a Jaeger with any past American president. Which do you pick to mental dock with, and why?
Sorry, my ice cream's melting. I'm not eating it because I need it, but it's melting, and I want to like not have it drip off the top.
But we're getting into the territory of sauces I like because you use enough of them. You notice the heat's there, but it's not gonna ruin a dish.
Cool.
It's not gonna overwhelm.
So, to answer your question about drift compatibility, who I would want to drift with, right? You got to understand American president. You got to understand that in the Pacific Rim universe, you're not drift compatible with everybody, right? And a lot of times you drift better with family, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like in the main character Raleigh in the beginning, he drifts with his brother, and then the father and son duo team, they drift together. So I would need to drift with my family, aka Barack Obama.
Do you have actual lineage?
Yes. Yeah. His mother's last name is shares the same last name as mine. We found her on a family tree when we were looking for Jeff Dunham back before he was canceled. But no, we were looking for him, and we stumbled upon Barack Obama. And a lot of people don't realize that his mother is actually white, and so it makes sense.
Show us the birth certificate, okay? Well, okay. So addendum. Let's just say,
what about your dad?
Whichever
Joe
other
Biden
president
would
you
be
pick,
drift
you got
compatible
that family link. You know, it
Sure.
just works. You're compatible. Does that change your answer, or would you still go with Obama?
I mean, Obama would be like, he'd have some sick lines, right? And I think in the Pacific Rim universe, in order to win, you gotta have some sick one-liners. Like, I think that just like the cadence of his speech would make for a good apocalypse speech. But I also think like Abe Lincoln would be a solid second pick. Emancipating
Vampire
the
Slayer
apocalypse.
to Jaeger co-pilot. Didn't Teddy Roosevelt have like a beefy body or something? What?
Yeah, who's the most jacked president? Teddy Roosevelt went blind in one eye. Yeah, maybe he's not the best.
Fully sauced up and ready to go.
Here we go. So one of your biggest passions is gardening. As someone who loves the idea of gardening but finds it extremely intimidating to get into, what is your biggest tip on getting started? Is it to have more of small pots in the window, or to like come up with an entire big grow operation and commit to it?
Absolutely don't commit to it. Because like any hobby or activity, really getting into it can be quite expensive. I think you start small and think about, it depends on what kind of gardening you want to do. Like if you want to do vegetable gardening, think of vegetables or fruits that you like to consume. And then you do very basic research, Google, like, requirements for tomato, requirements for cucumber, whatever it is. A lot of them are going to be pretty easy. I lived in a Toronto east-facing balcony for almost a decade, right? Not a ton of light, but things will grow in pots. So you just don't overthink it. You get a pot, you get some good potting mix, maybe a fertilizer, and you just understand like how much light does it need. Try to give it as much as you can. Some don't like a lot, so maybe give them a little shade if you can. And make sure you're watering them, not too much, because a lot of beginners do that. But you just start. I think like my first balcony, I had like 2 peppers and a tomato plant, right?
Heck yeah.
And then I just keep going. Like with gardening, a lot of people think like you just got to go at it, and unless you're getting a huge haul, you're just wasting your time. It's something you're going to continually learn about every single year. Like even master gardeners that have been doing it for 5 decades learn stuff. So I think ease into it and don't rush it, because the biggest thing about gardening is enjoying the process. I find it very relaxing, therapeutic. I love the scientific aspect of it and just learning about different peppers and tomatoes and understanding, the pollinators, the bugs that are beneficial, like all of that stuff around it, right? But like it takes time. So I think you start small with something relatively easy, and you just slowly expand on it each year.
Speaking of like bugs and pollinators and things like that, do you are you enjoying the movement of people like switching out their shitty grass for that what is that, like purplish plant that like kind of grows like grass that is like really attractive to bees? What is that?
Thyme?
Is that is that what it is?
Or clover? There's different ones. I was actually thinking about getting some clover. I very much am for that, and I get ticked off when there are a lot of places that have bylaws against growing vegetables in your front yard or doing anything that's other than like a tree and some grass, right? It really sucks, because I think a nice, well-kept vegetable garden, they're tremendously beautiful. Like they have flowers, they have vines and nice leaves and all that kind of stuff. same thing. I'm not a huge fan of grass. The whole culture around like, oh, it has to be perfect. I have to kill everything with pesticides and herbicides, and the grass needs to be mowed like every other day, because if it's like a little bit too long, like people are gonna judge me as a human because my grass isn't perfectly green. Like I think
we can do our back how we want to do it. So I think I'm gonna try in the next like 2 or 3 years to replace the back with, I think it's the creeping time or whatever somebody in your chat said.
Creeping time is yeah.
It's
very nice.
And it's like really pretty, and it doesn't grow as much, and it bees love it. Like, yeah, it's really cool. Back to another hot one sauce. Los Calientes Verde. Verde means green. Sorry.
This is a good sauce.
I've heard.
I don't know if it's in your heat spectrum, it should probably go quickly. It goes well with a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we like super went over like how good we are with sauce. I know that you're like a connoisseur, and for my chat that doesn't know, he Mouth makes his own sauces, and he even used the big word ferment often.
Yeah, I'm still fermenting some right now. I gotta turn it into sauce from last year's harvest. So
he's a freak. So he will not tap out on this at all. He likes big hot sauces. For on the other hand, I like hot sauce. Or I like heat. I'm not a big fan of hot sauces usually, but these are like top of the line. But I like heat. I like a spicy ramen. My tummy doesn't, and my butthole really doesn't like it either, to be wary.
I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to kind of get into hot sauce a bit more is I have a good time with food, and like not too much TMI, but like I just whatever's going on down there, like we're good.
This one I can feel in my nose a little bit. I like this one.
You can smell it, yeah. So this one,
tingly.
There's a reason the Serrano and habanero laced Verde version of Los Calientes has become a staple of any hot sauce collection. It's smoky, it's sweet, and it's got just right heat. This is where the lineup takes a turn, folks.
I'm gonna finally get to my what I refer to as little dips. Just little dips, just get a little tasty, and then on the second bite, if it's
I predict he's gonna go back for it. He's gonna double dip it.
It smells like a taco. Like it smells like a well put together taco. Like, all right, here we go.
All right. Question number 4. You're not shy when it comes to ink, but tell me, what are the limitations you have, if any, about placement? And part 2 of your current tattoos, would you say you have one that's like far and away like the most sentimental and has the most meaning to you?
In terms of where I wouldn't get a tattoo, probably my face. What I really do like the idea of, though, is my stylist, my hairstylist. She did this, and it sounds like a really cool idea, where you shave your head and then you get a tattoo on your head of something that's very meaningful, and then you let your hair grow back out, and nobody ever sees it. But it's just like it's there, and she got it of her. I think it was her cat that passed away. And I thought that was really cool.
That's a neat idea.
Also, this is
so no face. What about neck?
Depends how successful I am.
Right, because then if you need to get another job, that's right. I mean, I think the culture is kind of, depending on where you are, like shifting a little bit away from that.
Yeah, I think it's shifting where you can show tattoos, but I still think that anything above the collarbone, I think is still very taboo, and I understand that. But as for most sentimental tattoo, I don't want to touch it. But it's definitely the bearded dragon that I have on my arm, because he was our first animal that Hannah and I owned, and my first animal that I ever owned outside of my family. My family growing up knew I liked animals, but they didn't want me to ever own animals outside of just one dog or a cat. So when Hannah and I were still long distance and we were about to move in together, she had a very broken bearded dragon come into her work. And so he had degenerative bone disease, which is essentially he wasn't given enough nutrients. He was only ever fed meat, and they need like 70% salad. Oh, wow. And he was only ever given heat, no sunlight, and sunlight is massive for their bone growth. And so he essentially had 4 broken legs. And also because he was being fed on sand, he got impacted, and so he created a second butthole. So he had 4 broken legs and 2 buttholes. He was very, very broken. He was 2 years old, and they said that he wasn't going to live for like another 6 months, and we gave him another 4 years. Before he was super strong. Then we moved houses, and I think the shock from moving like depleted his immune system or something. I don't know, and he got cancer. So RNG took him out like half his lifespan, but that happens, right?
I mean, it sounds like you guys the last years were good though. So I mean, kudos to you for taking care of a little guy in need.
Yeah, so now he's sitting on some planets and he got big wings and he a cosmic dragon boy.
I
now.
mean, it's a nice tattoo as well, but it's like it's cool to understand, you know, the meaning behind it.
God, that one is really good. Fuck, dude. That one.
Did you wait? I didn't see. Did you double dip?
I triple dipped. Yeah.
Triple dipped.
I like the second one. I like swished it around to get more. You know.
Mm-hmm.
God. And it's like even the heat that's sitting in my mouth. Like every time I breathe, it's heat, but it's flavored heat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The most popular video on your YouTube channel is of you playing City Skylines. In that video, you express a lot of excitement for that game and games like it. What is it about city builders or sim games in general that gives it that spark for you? What separates a good sim from a bad sim? And when was the last time that you felt that excited for a game?
Yeah, that one I was really excited about because, I mean, that was many years ago now. I went to school for urban planning and I specialize in urban design. So it's like, because I've always played video games too, any sort of game that kind of related to, urban planning, I was like, it's gonna get my attention. So, but I mean, even before that, I've always been one to play games like SimCity or a lot of colonies where I like to think about how things are lined up and ordered. And I didn't quite understand it at the time, but there was this one class in my course that or one course in my program that it was about social planning, and we had to take it, and I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. We sit there and we're just learning about how humans, you know, interact in a built environment, subconsciously, consciously, like how certain things can deter crime or like maybe somehow almost encourage it or enable it a bit more. So I think it's just, that's what I like about a good city builder, is it gets you thinking about, you know, how are your little simulated people gonna move about, and like how well does the game kind of maybe mimic, obviously it's not going to be 100%, but how does it capture, like, would a real person function this way in this environment, in this situation? So yeah, I don't know, I just think it's a really neat thing to kind of be God and watch your little ants. I forgot the second half of the question.
What was the last time that you felt that excited for a game?
Yeah, I mean, I will also say City Skylines quickly ended up not... There's a lot of things wrong with it. I will say it's not a city planning game. It's a traffic management game, and a bad one at that. You need a lot of mods to fix it. So that's unfortunate. If you enjoy it, that's fine, but it's not a good city.
I like the videos where they build big poop mountains.
Yeah, that's fine. But, you know, you think a game about city planning would have like mixed use planning built in by default. Maybe they added it since I last played, but the last time I felt that excited about a game probably was Spelunky 2.
Absolutely.
I mean, Spelunky 1 was a game I just kind of tried based on a recommendation of like, hey, this is this new game. Fell in love with it. Played a lot of it, and then Spelunky 2 was just like, I didn't even think one was going to be made for a while, because I always thought like, oh, how do you top Spelunky 1? It's like an instant classic. It's great, but Derek Yu, the main man, he I mean, Spelunky 2 just makes Spelunky 1 seem obsolete in a lot of ways, which, I mean, it's still a phenomenal game in its own right. That's probably the most like really excited I've been for a game, and it's great. I mean, you've been playing a little bit, so you understand how difficult it is, but it's that kind of game that also you're like, I gotta prove that I can do this.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's one of those perfect stream games too, because it's so nice to be able to play games that are challenging, right? Give you something to do for long periods of time on stream, but is also very easily accessible to a new viewer. Like, they don't need to know why you're fighting a chicken with two heads, or why there's some hot lady who's curled up in a chair, right? Like, they can understand that, oh, don't touch the bad guys, and this is really hard platforming, and like at any point, even though you farmed up a bunch of health, you can just get deleted. Like, it's very easily accessible to a new viewer, and I think it's awesome.
And it is one of those games, though, sometimes when you get somebody watching it that's never seen it or maybe never played it, it looks easier when you're watching,
which
by
is
a
so
tremendous
cool.
factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of people in the past be like, oh, yeah, I can't believe you did that. That's so dumb, da 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 da. And then you'll go on and you'll do something incredibly difficult, and then I won't hear from the person, and they'll come back in a few months and like, hey, Malf, man, I put 200 hours in. I haven't even got past Olmec yet. And I'm like, I told you. This is sauce number 5, Brooklyn Deli, ghost pepper hot sauce. Brooklyn Deli chef Citra Agrawal, I'm butchering the pronunciation, honors Indian culinary traditions. So it's only fitting that this tomato and masala mix hot sauce highlights India's famed Bhut Jolokia, ghost pepper, red ghost.
Yeah, do you see this at the top? Look, I haven't shaken mine yet.
Oh yeah, the
like it's that you can see
the separation.
You can see the pain when you take it off.
This, I mean, the ghost pepper. This is, I mean, at one point was like the hottest in the world, right? They're still hot. They're like 1 million plus Scovilles. How hot is this sauce?
This one is only 39,000. It's not that much. A small step above the last one, but it's Scoville is a lie, kind of. You know, like
it is, and that's the other thing. That's why I say like look at the ingredient list, like the order, because something could have a really hot pepper in it, but they might not use a lot of it.
It smells like a barbecue chip. Like this is Lay's barbecue potato chip.
Sauce 5, question 5. The year is 2069. Canada has blown up America after they've tried to forcibly take all of our fresh water. Having never set foot outside of the United States of America, you're now in need of finding a new home. Which country do you pick? And you got to be there for like 10 years. You pick a country, you got to settle in for 10 years. So
like the world's not cataclysmically ended. It's just America.
Just America,
okay.
You know.
All
and
right.
they'll take you in no problem, you know.
Yeah, everybody open borders to non-gun owning Americans. I would probably just like walk around Central Europe and find a nice cozy place anywhere in the central to the Nordic countries.
No, you can't walk around. You have to pick right now.
I have to pick right now.
You're gonna land in that country, and you can't go outside of its borders.
It's between Switzerland and Sweden, so I'm gonna coin flip it. I'm gonna flip this hot one sticker. Heads is Sweden, tails is Switzerland.
Why Switzerland? You got some money to hide?
Switzerland.
No, it's why Switzerland. Not that I'm doubting your answer. I just want.
I don't know. There's like a lot of consistent things that a lot of the Central European countries are doing. That is Central Eastern, Northern European countries are doing. That is just consistent with my beliefs in the world. They seem to.
Plus, you like mountains, right? You snowboard.
I've never snowboarded, but I do like mountains. Yeah, I want to learn how to snowboard. I was supposed to learn in January, and then that got canceled. Yeah.
You know, bit of a curveball. I honestly thought you were gonna say Japan.
No, I don't really have a desire to go to Japan. I actually really don't. Like, I think that Japan is cool. I think that the infrastructure is really cool. I think that a lot of things is cool. I don't like a lot of things about the culture that is that I think is moving in the right direction, but is like you know, very negative towards women and towards like trans people, things like that. I don't fuck with it enough to want to live there.
Yeah. Oh, respect.
Yeah. All right. That one was good. Or that one was not that hot, but I fucking hated the flavor. I only single dipped, but it was a big dip. But I hated. It was definitely tomato.
That's fair. I mean, tomato is the number 1 ingredient, so
yeah,
you know.
And it was tomato paste. Like it was. It was 1 and 3. All right.
A lot of tomato.
In your Twitter bio, and I've heard you talk about it a lot frequently in your streams, you're very big on sustainability. What is one thing that each and every one of us watching right now can start doing today to build towards a more sustainable future that you feel like might actually have an impact? Because I feel like the world is just this big, dark place where, you know, it's the top 100 companies doing all the bad stuff and cows be farting. But what do you think that we as the individual can do?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if it's like really up for debate, but something everybody can do. Again, there's exceptions. I know, before you get somebody in chat being like, but actually stop eating meat. Everybody eats, you know, it's something everybody does. And a lot of people eat meat, and the meat and fish industries and like all of the industries that support them. There's a lot of energy and water and pollution and like all the stuff around that. It's not even like stopping eating meat. I talk about it every once in a while, but like, ooh, this one's got a kick. If you, you know, you pick a day a week, or maybe just a meal a day, and you say no meat, you know, if everybody's doing that, or like it does add up. And I don't like the attitude of people being like, well, everybody else is eating meat. It doesn't matter. Or, you know, it's not going to make a difference. But I don't know. I think if you do those things, you talk about it with a coworker, some family, and they might be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we could do that every Friday. We'll go out to Chachki's and we'll get their veggie tacos or something. It's like you just. I think you just talk about it. You create awareness, education, and you just try to make the best of it.
It sounds from what you're saying that it's less about the actual stopping the consumption and is more about putting pressure on the industries to make change.
The industries are going to keep doing what they're doing because people are, they're getting the money to do it, right? The industries will go away if people aren't, really supporting them financially. That's really what it is. Like, we can all sit here and bash industries and regulations and whatnot all we want, but
okay. Follow-up question from my partner: is eating ass considered eating meat? There's a difference between our two streams. I think that our streams are very much polar opposites in terms of mine is loud and obnoxious at times, and yours is consistently chill. And so I think that both of us fill a niche that is very much wanted and welcomed on the platform.
I like yours though because like you're animated, lively, but you're not obnoxious. I say this as someone who does not like watching most other streams on this platform because I think there's a lot of phony out there.
Yeah. And, no, I agree with that. That's why I stopped doing React content. Like, I love watching shit. But I did memes for a while, but it's like I might be giggling internally, but it's never something that makes me laugh out loud, and then I feel like I need to. And if someone else was there in the room with me, I would laugh out loud, right? But I don't know, it's weird.
There's certain things I think you can do as a streamer to be more successful, perhaps, but I'm just like, I just don't want to do that because it's not genuine.
Let's kick it up. We're halfway through.
Yeah, this is the Mushroom Mayhem.
I'm excited for this one,
sauce
actually.
number 6. I've never, so this is one thing I need to get better about. Like, I've always been jealous of people that love mushrooms. As a kid, I didn't like them.
I discovered mushrooms from a sandwich place here in Colorado called Cheba Hut that is advertised completely around stoner shit. Like, they name their subs via different joint. It's like, I think it's pinner, joint, blunt is the sizes. And then they're open for ungodly hours, and they serve carbonated Kool-Aid. They're super stoner. Yeah, they do really good mushrooms. Like, their mushrooms are super high quality.
Yeah, I gotta get it. I think cooking with them too is probably a big thing.
Dude,
I can only do mushroom flavor. The texture kills me. That as a kid, that definitely was a part of it. The texture. So what does this one say? Torchbearer, which is they're a pretty big, well-respected brand for sure. Mushroom Mayhem, 68,000 Scoville heat units.
Why?
The Torchbearer crew is back with a fungi-filled hot sauce that combines the meatiness of portobellos with tangy red wine vinegar for a condiment that's one part steak sauce and 1 part potent pepper concoction.
I do not understand why in this industry that's all about goofball stuff, right? The hot sauce industry is very goofy, right?
Yep.
Why would they not just push it to 69,000?
Ingredients: tomato paste, water, habanero pepper, brown sugar, scorpion pepper, and an orange horseradish, garlic, molasses, black pepper, shiitake mushrooms powder, portobello mushroom powder, allspice, paprika. Yeah, I don't know, because you could just be just 2 more drops of insert pepper,
All right, I'm ready. I'm doing a tiny dab to start because it said tomato paste, and I really didn't like the last one, but doing tiny one.
I got a nice meaty layer. So this is sauce 6. I've only known you a short period, but I can definitely say you're one of the more well-spoken streamers, and you have a willingness to talk about all manner of kind of societal issues.
Yes.
So my question is, what's one social norm that is currently expected of people in society that you don't think it should be expected of? Not to say it shouldn't be a thing, but it shouldn't be expected that people.
It's actually really tasty. Sorry, I'm going triple dip.
Go for it, man. Dude, I'll give you an example. Women, you gotta shave your legs, right? That's
right. I mean, I was actually gonna go. Sorry, I was gonna go similar along those lines of women wearing shirts. Out of the free the nipple is it just makes no fucking sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me why it makes no why we have to, or where it's okay for a dude to just rip their shirts off, but then it's not okay for a woman to do. And then there's like even the shit that's like going on like TikTok where someone who was assigned female at birth, it has larger breasts than comes out as male, and then all of a sudden they're allowed to show their body on TikTok just because they, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the exact same thing, but if they just had never discovered that they're male, then that wouldn't be okay. It just makes no fucking sense to me.
I'm with you. Like, it's one of those weird topics too, where you get some people being like, "Oh, you just support it because you want to see nipples and whatnot." It's like, okay, but like, just silly, sort of antiquated kind of thing, right? And we've been conditioned by media and parents or people older than us. It's like, oh no, that's naughty. Don't look at that. And you're like, but grandpa, your shirt's off right now. Like,
yeah. And I also, it's like you said, it's a social norm. If it became the normal that women could walk around a beach or on a hot day with no shirt on, it would become less sexual very quickly. Also, dude, this one is, it's like there's like a dot in the center of my tongue that every time I breathe or talk, it's just like it feels like I just got my tongue pierced.
That's I'm interested to see what of these hot sauces, especially once we get hotter, which parts they hit. Some I feel like they get the tongue more, some the lips, some the back of the throat.
Yeah, that one is literally just the center of the tongue. All right. All right, this is a long one.
Keep my hands clean.
So in 2010, you starred in a short film called Dragon Slayer Doppelganger, which you can actually go to dragonslayerdoppelganger.com. 1 second, sorry. dragonslayerdoppelganger.com. You can go there right now and watch this short film. In this film, you play a woman named Sandy who makes sweet love to her partner, played by your co-star Ryan Letourneau, aka Northern Lion. If you had to play that role again today, what do you think that you would do differently? And do you think the passion between you and Ryan would be greater after making 13 more years of memories?
Good. Well, a little bit of info that you didn't maybe know.
Okay.
I wasn't supposed to be in it. I had written the script for it on the train ride down to visit for a weekend. And the guy that said he would play the role of Sandy, a bit of a ding dong, and he like backed out at the last second. I was like, man, I like wrote all these like great lines and moments for you. Like, what the heck? But the show must go on. So I was like, fine, I guess I'll do it. So I directed and edited and produced and acted, you know, not a big deal.
I know, right?
That one's hitting the back of the throat, actually. It's a nice thick one, so it coats it.
I literally just got that. I swallowed again and something went down there.
So how would we do it differently 13 years later?
Would you hire an additional Michael to play another role, since it was you, Ryan, Michael, and Michael, and Michael, and Michael?
Yeah, a lot of Mikes.
It was
yeah.
Every single Michael was acting in it except Ryan. Yeah.
Our core friend group at the time was mostly Mikes, so we all went by our last names. I don't know, like honestly, because I've attempted to write a sequel many times, so it's like a weird, trippy, kind of time travel-y, magical sort of thing. So anything could happen. I don't know. Part of me, like, the fun of it is just the jankiness of it and the cheesiness and the bad of it. So I think I would maybe reprise my role somehow if I could. I think actually too, like, this was a while ago. Ryan, especially in high school, was a fairly reserved sort of guy, right? And then more, you know, he's gotten a little bit more out there in terms of like the entertaining stuff. So I think it'd be an opportunity to just go like balls to the wall, you know, maybe like full frontal nudity or something.
Sure.
You know, just go full HBO. I don't
Anything
know.
that starts with a B is good on screen. Yeah.
I don't really know how you top him like pushing me up against the wall and making sweet love to me while my water breaks. Did you watch it?
I did. Yeah.
Honest opinion. Okay, keep in mind, I wrote the script on the train ride. This was never actually meant to really be seen by as many people have seen it. Just like a dumb little group thing. But what did you think?
I think it was a little bit hard to follow in the middle, but overall, I would like to rewatch it as high as possible.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take that. We used to do like my brothers and I, my one brother had like when digital cameras first came out. not like first, but like pretty early on, and you could have really bad videos with them as well. So we would make just dumb videos of like slapping or fighting and yada yada yada. So we would just do stuff like that, and this was kind of that, and just a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I did that shit all the time as a kid too. Yeah, I have old videos that have never been seen the light of day of me having Naruto battles. I gotta make sure that they exist. If
they do, you could turn them into like little clips of you slicing your sword or whatever, punching your fist as like a sub alert.
Well, I would actually have to like edit them because I didn't know how to do VFX back then, but I knew where I wanted to put them in. So like I would do like, this, and then nothing would come out because I didn't know how to make a fireball happen. But now
you saw the same thing in Dragon Slayer Doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
And just audio-wise, I used like thunder. It works.
Did you get that one on the tongue?
Like, it hit the back of the throat the most, and it's actually my lips.
Yeah.
There is on the center of my tongue.
Yeah. Do you want to taste my tongue to see if you can feel it?
We should compare tongues. Yeah. 7. Dreams of Calypso.
It was very natural. It was good.
So I was surprised when I first read this one. It's a super hot Caribbean style. I was still thinking they were going to use like a lot of Scotch bonnet, which is a hot pepper. But they're going at it with the yellow 7 pot, which is like over double Scotch bonnet. And that's the #1 ingredient. This is by Angry Goat. 101,000 Scoville heat units. Dreams of Calypso is a sweet #7 sauce with a pineapple, mango, and bell pepper. But watch out, 7-pot Primo mash makes it hotter than the Caribbean Sun, a sizzling #7 sauce to take us into the back half.
Pineapple, mango, and lime juice. This one sounds like it's going to be delicious and then painful.
Pineapple and mango are pretty common just because they bring out a lot of peppers, right?
My stomach's already starting to hurt, man.
If you need to tap out, it's okay. I have a humiliation you would have to do.
What is the humiliation? I'm not gonna tap out. I'm not gonna tap out. I'm just gonna do smaller dips.
The humiliation is you gotta wash your face with your new bidet.
Small dip. It's hard to see how much I've dipped because it's the same color as the nuggie. So, God, you are a psycho. Jesus.
Well, because honestly, like when I first did this like the season 16 one, you do a few dots and like it's like hot, but you just can't taste it. And I don't really want it to be too hot, but I also want to taste it.
You mean you don't want to be too hot? How are you gonna go hotter? Just pour it, just drink it, like. Here we go.
All right. The world elects you to wear the Infinity Gauntlet, for one use because of your views on corporate greed, right? They're like, this guy, he gets it. So you get to snap away one corporation and all of its subsidiaries from existence. What do you pick?
One corporation and all of its subsidiaries?
Yeah, so it's like, like Nestle, but they also own 300 bottled water companies and whatever else
Nestle's a fucking easy one, right? And then you can also go like Alphabet and go Scorched Earth. I want Twitch to thrive. Also, dude, I went double dip on this one. This one's so good.
Is it? What do you like about it? The fruitiness or
Yeah. And then all the heat is all in the sides of my mouth. So the fruit is on the tongue and I'm just every time I chew and it rolls around, you get more fruit. And then the heat stays out here. I have no heat on my tongue right now.
So this could be a creeper too. Some of them,
could be.
They kind of, they creep into different areas.
Yeah.
I agree with your Nestle answer. They're an easy one. Can you expand for those unfamiliar why Nestle is such an evil corporation?
Didn't they want to copyright water?
Privatize water.
Yeah. They wanted to make water
collection.
no longer free. They wanted to monopolize water.
That's a pretty bad one because they pay. There's there's probably many documentaries, but I remember watching this one documentary where it's talking about how Nestle pays it's $200 a year. It's trivial, and you can hook up to this, these public, water supplies, and then they just do that and they bottle it and they sell it for whatever, $1 a bottle, kind of thing. It's ridiculous. It's the same water people are drinking out of their taps, but they're paying, a 1,300% markup. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, this one is creeping. This one is creeping. Slowly but surely, like coiling around the sides of my tongue, but it's not not too bad yet, I don't think.
Do you think it's like the heat is worth the flavor?
No.
Would you come? No.
No, I would not eat this again. It's delicious. I don't know. Like, you'd have to make something good with it. And, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I could take... Like, I couldn't eat more than just that. Like, I could not... If you gave me a chicken breast with it or something, like, I couldn't... Could not cut into that and eat the whole thing. So 2 years ago, you were playing Spelunky 2 with Northern Lion, and you were talking about getting into the Halloween spirit. And Northern Lion asked you what movies you were watching, and you mentioned the movie Sleepy Hollow. And he asked, were you watching it on a streaming service or Netflix or something like that? And you were very adamant that no, you owned the physical copy of it, and you needed him to know that. So I gotta ask, what is your favorite horror fantasy monster, and what do you think goes into making the perfect horror fantasy monster?
I'm like, honestly, I'm not big in that sort of, I like scary movies, horror movies or whatever, but I don't watch a lot of them for whatever reason. It's like kind of thing I'd prefer to watch with people. Not because I'm scared, but I don't know. Question. This is a good sauce, but it's hot.
Yeah. Starting to get into the delirium, you know, the can't think straight.
This is the first one that's going to make me sweat. Favorite. I almost don't want to give an answer because I feel like,
careful around the eyes.
Good job, Sean Evans. I don't want to say Headless Horseman, although I do think that's a really cool kind of... I like the story behind it, for sure. Like, the dude he wants his head back, you know? And he's like the little puppet.
He's actually out there for a good cause. Like, he's a relatable villain.
I mean, you gotta tip the cap to Nosferatu, Dracula, like that whole thing. I think that's like a really cool kind of idea as well. I don't know. What are some other examples? I
mean, you can go into like the Blob universe or the Thing, like anything Alien.
The Thing. Okay, that's a good. John Carpenter's The Thing. I recently watched that again. I don't have a specific answer though. Sadly, I don't have a fixation on. Godzilla's cool.
No, I mean, he's not a horror. I wouldn't say he's. I mean, some of the older ones are a little bit more.
Oh, you haven't smelled his breath.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a big fan of. I'm with you on The Thing. I also am a fan of the old Alien movies. I remember watching the Blob, like the old like 1960s or whatever Blob, black and white, like super shitty, but that one has some charm to it. Yeah, no, if we can include like slashers in there, because you know they're monsters. They kill people. You kill people.
Like
you're
Jason and Michael.
Yeah, I like the idea of Freddy Krueger. I don't really like his origins.
I like his drip.
I mean, dude, I went as him for Halloween one year. But no, I like I love the idea of the delirium of not sleeping, and so like, is it that people are actually seeing him because they're staying awake? Right? Is it like the delirium that's causing you to see him? Like, does he only exist? Like, if you were actually like not, I don't know. It's like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like I should ask you this question. You know, you got better answers than me, but I agree. Oh, is it the bomb time?
It is the bomb time. I'm gonna stain my bowl with this shitty ass sauce.
Get it out of the way.
My chat told me that if I do more than 2 drops of this, I'll die. Is that true?
Yeah, so this one, the ignore the number they say, because it says 135,000 Scoville heat units. It's a lie because they use extract. Extract, it hits different. If you use enough of it, if you use enough of it, when you pee, your urine will be spicy. It's not, you didn't touch your weenus or anything. Your actual urine from, if you have enough extract, will be spicy. Not like, it's never been, like, I did a spoonful of this stuff one time, and it's like, you can tell the pee is spicy, but it's not like, oh, this is like bad. It's just like, oh,
it's like when you drink coffee.
Yeah, that's a good way. Except instead of smelling it, you feel it.
It's like a little icy hot. It ain't bad, dude. This isn't coming out. Oh God, it is vile. It is in. Oh, dude, I have this much.
Yeah, it's a chemical. It's like a weak pepper spray because of the.
Jesus Christ!
I can't get the wrapper off there.
I know it was flaking off. I'm gonna eat a spoonful of ice cream before.
This one, I think they tried to make it not taste bad, but Anytime you're using that much extract, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I looked at like the rest of the flavors and I'm like, why the hell are you putting sugar in this thing? Like, why? Like, just if your goal is just pain, just stop it at oil and pepper.
It's so thick that it's not like coating it; it's just like sitting on top like a little stinky turd.
No, you are insane. Yeah, like you said that this is how you did the first time though. You were drops of every sauce, right?
It was definitely less the first time around, and
Yeah.
then when I did the one chip challenge, I was like, all right, that's like actual hatred.
You think that's a
That's honestly respectable. Yes, chef. All right, you're considered one of the better Slay the Spire players. You're considered one of the better Slay the Spire players, and have logged many hours into the game. Some have estimated as much as 38,000. If you had to take any one relic from the game and use it every single day in your real life,
yeah.
which relic would you pick?
What relic?
Well, Frost.
My chat's saying Giria, which is literally just a weight. Chat, weights exist. I don't like it's. You get that one for free.
So they want you to work out with it, or just like wear it around your neck like a necklace?
Like I get the effect of it, right? Lizard Tail says the first time that you die, revive with half your health.
50%. Yeah. You would take that.
Yeah, I mean, Merchant Card is another good one because it would make everything you ever buy in your life 50% off, but inflation's eventually going to catch up to that.
Think of it this way, okay? So you die, you activate your Lizard Tail.
Yeah.
You're just coming back. Like, how did you die? Did you die of old age? Because you're just going to die again, like, the next day.
No, I'd rob banks.
Oh,
and then I would rob banks, and then I would lead the cops up to the top of a building, and then I would jump off. And I would die, and then I would come back to life, and they couldn't follow me.
Okay, so you'd have the money, you just pick up, and you just waddle on. Yeah, they don't know what you look like or anything.
Right.
They assume.
All right, I'm gonna eat ice cream so I can say my sentence, my paragraph.
That's fine.
This is a big
Tapping
one.
out. Okay, that's fine.
I'm not tapping out. You want me to not? Okay. Fine.
I want you to do what makes you feel comfortable.
All right, you ready?
I feel bad now. You should have some ice cream.
Nope. When you were 8 years old, you went out to eat with your brothers and ordered a pizza sub and some poutine. They bet you that you couldn't finish both of them, and you tapped out just a couple of bites from the finish line. Ever since then, they've never let you live it down, constantly reminding you of that moment of failure. Did they finally let up after you downed 50 McDonald's nuggets in one sitting in just over an hour?
Wow, that's a lot of hot sauce. So they still haven't let me forget about the sub.
Yeah.
Which happened like I was 8 years old then, and man, that was a lot. I was never a big kid either, so.
Right.
It wasn't like a side poutine. It was a full plate of poutine and a full 12-inch pizzeria like pizza sub. It was big. The 50 nuggets, they kind of joked about a little bit, but it's more of just like now they're like, oh, you don't eat meat. Oh, that's hot. What about 50 plant nuggets? And I don't think I could do that this day and age because I have more respect for my waistline. But my dad, who is a weenie and probably watching this stream right now, has started going through some old YouTube videos. And he just texted me one day while I was streaming, and he's like, what's the matter? Like, why did it take you an hour to eat 50 chicken nuggets?
Just silence. Nothing but silence. Not taking a long time on this question, huh?
Well, I don't know basically they still make kind of little jabs about, but I did it.
Yeah. I did my research.
And I could do it again if I needed to, but I've already proven myself.
Yeah.
That was a lot of sauce. I think I actually had that was the most sauce I've had on one because it was so thick.
You ready for some taco vibes? This one's just about vibes, dude. This one ain't even that hot. It's only going
lightheaded
from
after that
135,000 Scoville units to 638,000.
My drink's here if I need some, but I got some yogurt in the fridge downstairs.
Yeah, I choked on that one at the end there. I don't know if you heard me cough while you were talking. I breathed it in, and
no,
luckily, I coughed like within a picosecond, and it all came off.
Butterfly Bakery, taco vibes only, 638 Scoville heat units. Butterfly Bakery's Claire George's is taking Taco Tuesdays to the next level. Carolina Reapers and Ghost Peppers combined with lime juice,
This guy's a baker?
cumin, and coriander.
What's wrong with this
To
guy?
make this taco a sauce killer with slow building but intense heat. Have your milk handy.
Wait, is this the guy that they were used as inspiration for the Puss in Boots movie?
It's hot. But
Oh, that
I'm
one came out
over it.
fast. That one's...
There's a moment of like lightheadedness, sweaty, eyes watering.
This one, no xanthan gum.
No xanthan gum?
I'll wait until you pour it. Organic distilled white vinegar and red sereno, Reaper peppers, lime juice, ghost pepper, garlic, scapes, salt, Reaper pepper again.
Yeah.
Reaper pepper powder, sorry. Coriander and cumin.
Reaper peppers, I mean, they're hot, but like actually when you can taste their flavor, they're not bad. There's some very nice hot sauces with
Yeah, like-
peppers that I like.
What's your favorite hot pepper?
That's tough because I don't really eat straight up hot peppers, but
Ground,
there's like,
to put as a spice on something.
man, there's this really good it's a season 16 hot sauce. It uses like chocolate boot jalokia, smoked ones. It's like it's hot. It's like a 7 out of 10 kind of heat level, but man, so much flavor. The little bit of smokiness from it is really good. I would definitely put that up there. Scotch bonnets are also just amazingly very fruity and not excruciating levels of spice, so you can kind of enjoy it.
I think my favorite is it's a Aleppo pepper.
Is this a ligma?
No, it's I think it's like an Indian Middle Eastern pepper. It's a red pepper. It's
Oh, Aleppo. It starts with an A. Okay.
Yeah.
Aleppo. I feel like I've maybe heard of that, but the place where I order seeds from do not have that, so I'll have to look elsewhere.
yeah. No, I got it from an Indian spice shop in town.
I like the cap on this one.
Oh God, this one's got chunks. Like, look.
Yeah, it's got whole seeds in there.
Oh, I don't want that. Don't get that
That's
away.
where the seeds, but the pith of a pepper, like where the seeds are connected to, that's like the spiciest part of a pepper. It smells like a peppery hot sauce. Are you ready?
I am ready for question number 9.
All right. You're given the keys to an animal sanctuary with like all the facilities and staffing required to take care of one like endangered animal. Not necessarily endangered, but one type of animal that you would like to, give the best life to that type of animal.
This one
And
creeps.
why?
This one creeps, dude. It's like
Okay.
I got to like right before I was about to swallow, and I tasted like no heat, and it is cooking my tongue right now. Some sort of intelligent bird, like ravens or crows or
Oh,
even vultures.
yeah. Have you ever kept birds of any type?
No, because it's not ethical usually to domesticate birds outside of like pigeons and like
Right.
small like cockatiels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like pigeons are hard to own because they're really dusty. A lot
Yeah.
of people don't know that, but they create a lot of dust. It's like
Well, Frost.
if I just hold my breath, it's fine.
I sucked
Yeah,
at
well, that's the
Dan
thing. Breathing
Keys
too
on
much
Twitch now.
stokes the flames.
Koopas.
Birds.
Smart bird.
Okay.
Smart bird.
Smart bird. I guess, yeah, vultures, I don't really know much about them, but I mean, they're smart enough to be like, hey, why am I working so hard to kill this animal? I'll just.
Yeah, they're not the
leftovers.
smartest of the smart birds, but corvids in general are pretty smart.
Okay. Yeah, I lived out in like Western Canada for a period of time, and there are a lot of ravens out there.
Well, Frost.
These ravens were
I
like
guess I should give myself
larger
to
than
Dan
some,
Kiesling
like,
on Twitch
Yeah.
now.
dogs, like smaller
Koopas.
dogs. It's kind of intimidating. I mean, they're very incredibly smart animals too, but I was like kind of in awe of how large they were.
How much would take a double dip of this sauce? $100.
He's got 10 extra nuggets. So flavor wise, I mean, is that better than Da Bomb? Do you think it's hotter than Da Bomb?
Yeah, no, like I said, it tasted good. Like when I was chewing it, it was a peppery sauce. Like you said, some of those peppers in there, they taste good.
Okay, we're waiting for the $100 or 20 gifts of equivalent.
No, let's
for-
do your question. If it gets $100, I'll do it with you. All right.
Nice. Is that acceptable, chat?
Ooh, burps feel good. So you discussed earlier that you went to the University of Waterloo and you majored in urban planning and specializing in urban design. What is the most useful, if any, urban design lesson that you use day to day in your content creation career?
That's not nearly as bad as the bomb.
But you just wait, man.
I would actually say a lot of it is probably to do with the more social aspect of planning. Like planning is a very broad sort of discipline, right? Like when you go into it, it's like you specialize in something, whether it's traffic planning or you get into the more like design or GIS and different. There's like a whole blah 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 blah. But I would say the social aspect of it, it's not even just for. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Creeps, right?
Well, Frost.
It creeps a little bit, but still not
I
nearly as
my
bad.
Good luck,
stuff to
Frost.
Dan
I am.
Kuzma.
You also
I
might just be
know.
saturated in the bomb, you know,
Cool
like where
buds.
you're.
I still like the worst part of the bomb had passed, but it like
Yeah.
it's coated the mouth.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like that's what I feel like as well. Like it doesn't get worse than the bomb, but I'm also like, am I just numb to it at this point?
Yeah, I think the social planning aspect of it, in like, so I did some stuff where specifically it was like crime prevention through environmental design.
Sure.
So you look at various public spaces and you understand principles for how like the built environment influences how people use it, right? It's specifically to do with crime. Like, what are some mechanisms you can put in place that people don't even realize it, but they might deter crime? They might make people feel safer in that environment, right? So that kind of made me just think about things differently, and it made me focus on thinking about other people's perspective a lot more in general, right? How I perceive a situation is different, how am I going to react in a given situation or environment compared to somebody else? Like, it's not always the same. And
Yeah, how are you gonna react when somebody else eats hot sauces and then you bully them not to eat ice cream? Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
It felt pretty good. With streaming and stuff, it's a live environment. You're dealing with a lot of people. I have a lot of maybe different issues. Maybe they're having a good day, bad day, whatever. They have good news, bad news, hanging in chat. So yeah, I mean, you're, I guess, maybe a little bit more mindful sometimes of how you phrase things or how you say things, because you don't want to, you're not trying to offend anybody, but how you word stuff can sometimes come across that way. And, you don't want to make good people feel bad about things. So I think it's helped a lot in that regard, perhaps, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good answer. I'm kind of now it is creeping on the tongue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just kind of like lit my tongue on fire, and it's making my saliva very thick. Whew. But yeah, no, definitely not as bad as the bomb. But I mean, that's what everyone says, right? Is the bomb's the worst? You ready for the last one?
Let's
we
do
should-
it to it.
I think we should eat these at the same time.
Yeah, we do a little digital dab.
Digital-
You gotta
digital-
yeah. Dab dink it. So we'll read the spiel for this one in case anybody doesn't know. They changed it. I think they used to say that it was like 2 million plus Scoville
I
heat
think they
units.
still
but
say that.
It says TBA on here.
Yeah. I just remember watching an episode recently. I think it's still the show. They put it at that.
So it's that time. You've climbed to the summit of Mount Scoville. There's only one thing left to do. Add an extra dab and live the tradition with the last dab Apollo, our hottest dab ever. It's made with Smokin' Ed's Apollo pepper in fresh, powdered, and pure chili distillate forms.
Doesn't
There we
smell
go.
that bad.
So this is the thing. It's I was like, it's just peppers in different forms and vinegar. I was surprised at how good it is.
Got my dab.
That's a respectable dab. That is a. Your
I can do
butthole's gonna
this,
be
it's not a
happy
big deal.
later.
I got the double dab. Don't worry. Where's your extra little dab at the end? Huh? Where is it?
That's not enough.
That's
Look
your
how-
normal amount that you've done on every single other one. Put an extra little dab. One's in chat. If it that's his normal. That's the normal. You need extra little dab at the end. I don't understand. Respect. Here, I'll go for a double dip. I did a double dip.
All right.
I'll
Ready,
ask
Freddy?
you first. Here we go. while chewing.
Okay.
Chew with my mouth open.
I got a little dinkage.
All right, here we go. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
So you stated in a recent stream, and actually today, while trying out some new hot sauces, that you were happy with a sauce when it didn't have xanthan gum. Walk me through the perfect hot sauce in your mind, as someone who's constantly likes to experiment in making them.
So to me, it's hard to have a truly like. I guess there are sauces where I'm like, I could put this on anything. That's hard to do though, right? Because if you think, bringing meat back into the equation, even though I don't eat it anymore, right? It's like a hot sauce for pork, for beef, for chicken, for fish, for like any number of veggies. It's hard to have like a sauce that's going to work for everything. So I feel it's more of like, I'll have perfect sauces that tend to work well for like key dishes and things like that. One, to me, universal thing that I do like is I do like a thicker sauce most of the time. I don't like runny sauces. I mean, it's fine if you're putting that in something. Maybe you're making like a spicy mayo, you're putting it in chili, whatever. Consistency's not as much a factor, but a lot of times, I want a nice thick line. I don't want it running all over the place when I'm trying to eat it. So consistency is a big thing. Flavor profile. I like sweet hot sauces, but they're not my favorite. I'm more of a savory guy in general.
I give it, dude.
It's okay. I respect it. I like smoky, but I don't like overly smoky. Just I need a nice, well-balanced, herbaceous.
Dude, what the fuck? This is worse than this is worse than the bomb to me. This is worse than the bomb. It won't go away.
It's similar for sure.
It just won't quit. Like, it won't go down.
Hannah is your better half and puts up with your 2D bum through thick and thin. When was the first time you realized that she's your rock?
So, we actually have this meme. It's not a meme. The story of how I first told her I love her. We've been dating for 6 years. But we were long distance for the first 2 years. It's like every time I think it's gonna be fine, it creeps back. But I told her I love her for 3 months before she ever heard it. We were long distance. And a lot of times we'd be on FaceTime and she'd fall asleep. We'd fall asleep together. And so I would tell her it when she was asleep, or I would mute my microphone, different times like that. So I don't know the exact date, but yeah, I've been telling it for much longer before she ever heard it.
Do you think you didn't want to say too early for fear like you were gonna scare her off or something?
Yeah, it was quite early. It was
What
within,
sort of
3
maybe it
to
wasn't
6
like a
months, somewhere in there.
specific thing, but like what sort of things like made you like you're like, yeah, I love her, or is it just like
It's funny.
it just felt a certain way?
It's funny that you ask that now, because I'm a person that, you can ask, my community finally starting to go away a little bit. Whenever, I'm gonna throw up from too much milk. You getting the spicy giggles. Whenever I am at a normal, even playing field, I am not good at sharing positive emotions. So
That's why I saved this for last.
yeah, oh. Now while the delirium's there, no, fuck Christ, it has come back. Oh, for her birthday this year, I I got really fucking high because when I am very intoxicated, I can share my emotions.
Of course.
That barrier breaks down. Ugh. No, you know what? You know what I love about her the most is how selfless she is. How she always puts me first, and I am definitely a selfish lover. Both in and out of the bedroom, whatever. You can take that how you want. I'm very much a little spoon kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Both emotionally, physically, in any way of the word. Yeah, he's very giving.
That's good. Because there is this, like, you know, sometimes you get that with certain people. It's like, guy has to be the big tough, you know, and it's almost feel like sometimes you have to repress you like, not even just the person, but it's almost society. Sometimes you got to repress your feelings a little bit, like maybe how you're feeling about something. So
Yeah,
I guess what I'm picking up is that she makes you feel comfortable enough that you can
she'll
kind of be more yourself and, you know, be vulnerable, and she makes you feel safe.
She does this thing, and she'll do it on stream sometimes, where she'll just consistently say, she'll try to get me to tell her what I love about her. I'm, sober, and I can't think of words. To the point that I'll feel nauseous, and I've had to go outside. Like, she'll just keep trying to make me think those thoughts, and the words won't come. I can feel the emotion; it's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't express it in words.
It's okay. Sometimes, you know,
I just eat her ass, and then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready for round 2?
Go back down the ladder.
This is where we go reverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
We're not a ladder leaning up against a wall. We're changing a light bulb right now. Yeah, they really, in the show, they don't really harp over how hot the last dab is. Like, it always feels like they eat it, and then it's immediate euphoria. But
Yeah. It's hot.
that to me was the worst. I don't know. Maybe because I did the dab, right? And I wasn't doing as much of the other ones, but.
Last dab, back of throat for sure. Sorry.
Really?
No. My tongues. What's the other? Da bomb, back of throat. This, it gets a bit of the tongue, a bit of the throat. You know, it's hot in there for sure. But it hits my bottom lip and top lip.
Really? I haven't felt really
The
anything on the
most.
lips.
I probably I sucked my finger. I got some on my finger, so I probably got more on my lips than. But,
I haven't felt any of these sauces on my lips too much, but I've been conscious about it, about chewing and swallowing and not doing the tongue cleaning the face until afterwards.
Well, we've been, I think, slightly advantageous because they're eating wings, right? They're usually dealing with bones, so they're biting, stripping it off, so they're just getting it on their lips a lot more regardless, whereas we're able to
the dudes out there that are eating the vegan wings on the show are cheating, is what you're saying.
I am eating, so technically these are, I guess, vegan. This whole time, I've not even really realized that they're not chicken. So if you're ever thinking about dabbling into some non-chicken stuff, the chicken nuggets are pretty easy entry point, because usually you're dipping them in something anyways.
Whew. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, my stomach already hurts.
Yeah?
It's probably more ice cream than it is sauce.
I was just gonna ask, how your stomach reacts to mass quantities of sudden ice cream. I know mine. Most foods I'm okay with. A lot of ice cream though will get my stomach churning. I'm a little not deliriously lightheaded, but definitely the last from Da Bomb on, got me a little bit woozy.
I just downed half a pint of ice cream. So.
What flavor?
Raw vanilla. I just thought it would be best for. I got Haagen-Dazs vanilla at least, but I thought. What do I want? Chunkies in there? You want chunkies in there when you're
cookies and cream? Come on, man.
You want cookies and cream while you're to soothe your capsaicin burn?
Dude, actually, mint chocolate chip.
Make it more spicy.
What?
Mint when you have spice in your mouth?
I guess.
Are you insane?
Maybe. maybe I'm a sicko. I